Hello everyone, welcome to Chemazon Complete Chemistry. So our today's video is all about IIT JAM chemistry exam. So in this video we are going to discuss some of the very important aspects of IIT JAM chemistry exam. Like we have a lot of questions in our mind. Why is this exam conducted? Who conducts this exam? What is the paper pattern? What is the syllabus? What are the reference books that you have to refer, and how to study and how much time to study, like many other questions. So in this video series of IIT JAM preparation, I will be solving all your queries one by one, and let us start. So a very important question is, why is this IIT JAM exam conducted? So this exam is conducted for the bachelor students, for those who wish to get admission into master's courses, that is Master of Science or MSc, into top educational institutions of India like IITs, which is Indian Institute of Technology, NIT, that is National Institute of Technology, IISc, that is Indian Institute of Science, which is located in Bangalore, and some IISERs. IISER is Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research. IITs and NITs provide only master's course, that is MSc course, as a 2-year course separately, but in these institutions like IISc and IISERs, after clearing JAM exam, you have to give an interview, and by passing the interview, then you will be getting given this course of integrated PhD. What do you mean by integrated PhD? Normal MSc course we know is of 2 years, but integrated PhD course is MSc plus PhD combined course. If we do MSc separately, it is of 2 years, PhD separately, it is of 5 years approximately. But if you take up this course of integrated PhD, it will be total of 6 to 7 years, or it may go even above that, depending on the guide that you choose for your research, and also the institution and the PhD student. So the benefit of doing an integrated PhD course is that you start getting the stipend or some amount, basic amount, that every month in these institutions, that is IISc and IISERs. But the foremost condition is that you have to clear the interview as well, not only JAM exam but also interview. So the next question is the eligibility criteria. So what are the eligibility criteria for this exam? So there are certain conditions which you have to follow, without which you cannot write this exam. First and foremost is that you should have completed your 3-year bachelor course, that is BSc course. And the second important criteria is that you should have, that is for general category students and OBC and NCL and EWS category students, you should have minimum of 55% or 5.5 pointer out of 10. And for SC, ST and PWD caste students, category students, you should have scored minimum of 50% or 5.0 pointer out of 10. These are the basic eligibility criteria for any JAM exam, not only for chemistry but for all other branches. So next important criteria, especially for chemistry, is that here you can see that there are some names of the different institutions, that is IITs. The first criteria, which is very common for all the institutions, that is you should have chemistry for all the 3 years of bachelor's or 6 semesters. So for the entire 3 years or each semester, you should have chemistry as a subject. This is a very compulsory criteria. And the second very important criteria is that you should have mathematics in 10+2 level. What do you mean by 10+2 level? In your 12th standard, you should have maths. You should have done or studied maths. But there is no such restrictions in IIT Indore. But in other IITs, if you want to get admission, you should have maths. So now what to do if you don't have maths and if you want to get into IITs? So there are many open learning sources available. That is, one is the NIOS course, which offers mathematics course for 12th standard students. So you can take up such courses and complete your mathematics, and then you can give the JAM examination. There are some other courses which are offered under MSc, that is IIT JAM exam. That is, this IIT Kharagpur provides integrated course in nuclear medicine, and these are the eligibility criteria. Then IIT Bombay also offers an integrated course in environmental science and engineering. Similarly, IIT Bhubaneswar also provides an integrated course in atmosphere and ocean sciences. So these are some other courses apart from MSc Chemistry that you can opt for after clearing JAM exam. So these are the list of IITs, that is total of 21 IITs that give you admission on the basis of JAM score. So this is a very important list that you have to fill in your admission form or counseling form after you have cleared the exam. It is very important that you note all these institutions and don't miss out any of the institution. So there are some other institutes which use the JAM result or give you admission to MSc course on the basis of IIT JAM exam. There are 22 such institutions, including NITs and some other institutes like IIEST, Shibpur, and all other NITs, and Sylhet, Punjab. So there are some other institutes which I already discussed. These are 3 IISERs, that is IISER Bhopal, IISER Pune, IISER Tirupati. These IISERs also provide you, as I told you, integrated PhD course and not only MSc course. So first you have to clear JAM exam, and then you have to appear for the interview which will be conducted by these institutions, and then only you can get admission on the basis of your JAM. First you have to give JAM exam, then the interview to get into these IISERs. Same goes for IISc Bangalore, exam plus an interview conducted by them. So the next very important thing to understand is how the paper of IIT JAM looks like, the different aspects of it. The first one is the mode of exam, that is, this exam is conducted online. The second aspect is there is total of 100 marks. The paper will be of 100 marks. There will be 60 questions that will be asked in the entire paper, which you have to solve in the time of 3 hours. So negative marking, yes, there is negative marking in some sections. There are a total of 3 sections which I will be discussing in this video itself. And in the first section you have negative marking, but in the remaining 2 sections you don't have negative marking. Calculator provided, yes. In IIT JAM exam, a virtual scientific calculator is provided, which will be available or visible to you on the computer screen when you will be writing the exam, but you are not allowed to take any physical calculator or the scientific calculator that we use daily. So coming back to the paper pattern, so there are 3 sections, as I already told you. One is the MCQ, that is multiple choice question. The second is the MSQ, that is multiple select questions, and the third is the NAT section. We will one by one understand what all these sections mean. So the very first section is the MCQ, that is multiple choice question. In this section you will be given 4 options, and out of the 4 options only one option will be correct. So there are 30 such questions, and the total is marks is 50 marks, which is 50% of your paper, that is 50 marks out of 100 marks. So the question number 1 to 10, that is the first 10 questions, are of 1 mark each, and very important to note that there is negative marking in this section. In MCQ section there is negative marking. For every one correct answer you will get 1 mark, but for one wrong answer from the first 10 questions, it is very important that first of all you gave an incorrect answer, so this 1 mark will be deducted, plus an additional penalty of minus 0.33 will be given to you. So a total of minus 1.33 will be deducted from your total score of 100. So very important point is that you have to be very sure before answering any MSQ question. The next questions from question number 21 to question number 30, that is the remaining 20 questions of the MSQ section, is 2 marks each, that is 2 into 20, that is 40 marks. Here it is 1 into 10, that is 10 marks. So 40 plus 10 gives you 50 marks. So in 2 mark question there is a negative marking of minus 0.67. So you have to be very very careful while marking MCQ questions. Negative marking can badly affect your score. So the very second section is the MSQ section. What do you mean by MSQ section? Multiple select question. This is a little bit difficult section of the entire paper. Let us understand what does this MSQ mean. So first of all, there are 10 questions, that is question number 31 to question number 40. There will be 10 questions and each question is of 2 marks and the total of 20 marks. So each question is of 2 marks and there is no negative marking. So now let us understand what do we mean by multiple select questions. As the name suggests, that out of the 4 options given to you, one or more than one options can be correct. Mostly it is seen that 2, 3 or all the 4 options are correct, but very rarely they can give only single correct option in an MCQ section. It is very rare, but the title itself says one or more than one correct. So mostly it is 2, 3 or all the 4 options correct. So suppose a question which has 3 correct answers. Let's say option A, option B and option C are correct. And if you mark, let's say, any 2 options which are correct, let's say you mark option A and option B, then also you get 0 mark. If you mark, let's say, all the 4 options, then also you will get 0 mark. If the option A, B and C are correct, then you have to mark only A, B and C. If you mark any one option extra or one option less, you will not get the credit of this marks. This is the reason why this section becomes a little difficult and little tricky, where that if you don't mark any of the option, you will not get the credit. So the last section of the paper is a bit important one. It's called NAT, that is numerical answer type question. So what is there in this questions? First of all, there are 20 questions which will give you 30 marks, the remaining 30. Section 1 it was 50 marks, section 2 20, giving you a total of 70 marks, and the remaining 30 marks completes your 100 marks paper. So this section is again divided into first, that is question number 41 to question number 50. You have 10 questions of 1 mark each, and question number last, that is question number 51 to question number 60, that is 2 marks each. So let us now understand what do we mean by NAT. NAT stands for numerical answer type question. So in this type of questions, you will be given a numerical or a question which will not have any options. So no options will be given to you, and you have to solve the numerical, and then you have to put a numeric value, a number. Okay, a number can be a whole number or an integer, or it can be in decimal. So in decimals they will mention whether you have to put the value up to 2 decimal places or 3 decimal places, and it is very important that you understand this concept of decimal, which I will be discussing in the next video, that how to round off the figures, because there will be a range of answers given to you. Let's say the correct answer is 2.2, and then they will give you a range of, let's say, 2.1 to 2.3. So if you mark any other option less than 2.1 or greater than 2.3, then you will not get any mark. So you have to mark or put a value from 2.10 to 2.30, then only you will get the credit of this marks. So the first 10 questions are 1 mark each, and the next 10 questions are 2 mark each. So you have to be very very careful while solving these NAT type of questions. You have to do calculations very accurately, considering the negative and the positive signs, and all the other mistakes you have to avoid to score better in this section. We will be discussing these in much more detail. So here we come to the end of today's video. Thank you so much.